Hello and welcome to Got Clutter, Get Organized, the conversation. I'm excited because we are ending a month, which is June, but we are getting ready to get into the second half of 2025. And I know a
Mhm.
lot of you in January, you want all your little to-do list. And even maybe when you moved into like that second quarter, you're like, you know what? I didn't get it done in January, but I'm going to get it done now. Well, here we are, which is why I wanted Rashida. She is a lifestyle strategist, but also a dream coach, just to kind of share with us maybe some strategies for us to get unstuck and maybe just get things done as we move into this hard to believe the second half of 2025. Oh my gosh, Rashida, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to have this conversation.
So before we get into, how we can get like unstuck, what made you decide to be a lifestyle coach but also a dream strategist?
Yes. So I was doing these things. I was traveling, I was trying different jobs, I was trying different places out, and people were like, how are you doing all of this? Because I know you're not rich. So how are you doing all of these things? And so I started sharing things because they would ask me questions. And most people would think, oh, she must have this master plan. I'm not a planner, but I am a strategist. And that's where the strategy part comes in. I'm like, oh, I like this, and this. I think I could put this in an order that'll allow me to accomplish everything. And that's how this all came to be.
That is wonderful. So we can get down to the nitty gritty. So, as I shared, in January, people had things they wanted to accomplish. They didn't
Hmm.
accomplish it. Like, okay, here comes the second quarter. Okay, I'm going to write my list down. I'm going to get it done. Well, now we're getting into the second half of 2025 and a third quarter. Really, what are some
Hmm.
things that just get people stuck to the point that they really don't move forward?
Yes. I would say a lot of times is they get stuck in doing the next best thing, And sometimes we get so distracted with doing the next best thing that we don't come back to what the vision was, what the long-term plan was. And so that disconnect allows us to feel like we're doing a lot, but I like to call it treading water. You know how when you tread in water, you got a lot of movement going on, but you're not moving forward, you're not moving backwards, you're just literally moving your limbs. And so we get stuck moving our limbs rather than moving forward.
Mm. So, as you were saying that, I was like, yes, that happens because, like you said, sometimes people take on too much
Mhm.
and they think they get everything done in a short period of time. Sometimes, and life happens. And I always tell people life is going to happen. So
Mhm.
sometimes you do have to put things aside. And even one of the things I share, sometimes things plan, stretch your time out. Just because you
Mhm.
think something's going to maybe take an hour, give yourself two. It might be
Mhm.
traffic. But so, what are some of the things that we can do? Because I know, the listeners, particularly my women's listeners, how can we? Because we do so many things. We're wearing a cape. We're trying to do this, that, and the third. We're giving so much of other people. So how do
Mhm.
we get unstuck to at least maybe do something that we
Yeah.
really want to do?
Yeah, so I have three questions. Then there's a bonus, okay? There's three questions that I would say we should ask ourselves. Number one, why? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Because if we get distracted from why I'm doing what I'm doing, then sometimes we start doing things that are counteractive to what we actually want to do. So the first question is, why do I want to do what I'm trying to do? And then number two is, who am I doing it for? Because there's usually someone
Mm,
motivating it. And sometimes it's everybody else when it really should be us. But that's a
mm,
whole nother conversation. But at least we can ask the question, and that allows us to say, let me stop and think about that. And then number three, what do I want us to get out of it? If you're doing it for someone else, what are you hoping that person gets out of it? What are you hoping to get out of it? And the reason I say all of these things, and this is what comes to the bonus question, is now that I know what I'm trying to get out of it, can I make that thing happen without trying to work myself to death? Because that's where we usually get in trouble. We think that the way to get to the thing is to work harder. I gotta bulldoze my way. I gotta push through to get it done. And sometimes it's literally just a matter of stepping back, looking at the whole vision, and then saying, there's an easier way to do this. Let me try that other way. And so that's how I like to help my clients start to look through how they can figure out, what am I actually trying to get to and get to it in a better, happier, restful way.
I like that. I like the questions you need to ask yourself because sometimes we all need to ask ourselves these questions. We think
Mhm.
something is good, we should be doing it. But then if you really ask these questions like, why am I doing it? Who's going to benefit? Because when you were saying it, Rashida, I was thinking about a client who has been so focused on organizing her father, getting
Mm.
all his stuff in order,
Mhm.
that until somebody, came to the house who was helping her with some financial stuff, said, uh, I know you're working with Janet, but why isn't she here? And when I finally saw the space, I said, okay, I see what's going on. I see
Mhm.
what you're trying to do. And I can
Mhm.
help you get rid of all of this stuff, but still stay focused. But
Yes.
yeah, but she was like so focused. Oh, I gotta do this, and I gotta. But then I'm like, I need to have a conversation with her. I understand that, but sometimes, like I'm sure you would tell your clients, when you give to yourself,
Mhm.
there's so
Mhm.
much other stuff that you can do.
Mhm. Mhm. Yep. That tunnel focus, it keeps out some squirrels, but sometimes the tunnel focus also keeps us on a path that is not the necessarily best path. So I love that you brought all of that up. So, so true.
Yeah. So I guess my question is, you know, is there something, one thing that you can suggest maybe that we do? Maybe just answer the questions, maybe take some time to answer the questions, but just
Hmm.
something, just so we can kind of move the needle to maybe crossing one thing off of our list. Because another guest said, sometimes we're always trying to put ourselves at the top of the list, but
Hmm.
can we at least put ourselves on the list? I was like,
Come on.
wow.
That's a good question. Yes, and that's a really, really good question. And the way I like to break that down is okay, and this goes back to, I like to call it periscoping, zooming in and zooming out. If you zoom out and you realize everything that you're prioritizing is for somebody else, then you are not on the list, child. You're not on the list. And so the way that I like to help my clients do it, and just in my community in general, every Friday we do a check-in. It's called Freedom Fridays, and we take a pause. It's 2 hours. Listen, and we giggle and kiki the whole time. Don't get me wrong, we have a lot of fun, but we also like stop and say, "Wait, did I prioritize me this week? Did I do something for me? Even if it was just for 30 seconds, that I stop and say, oh, for me, I'm going to sit here and daydream. For me, I'm going to just sit here and close my eyes. Or better yet, I'm going to go get in a hammock, read a book, we do earthing, whatever. There's so many different rest and fun activities. And so in that time, it's that check in every week to make us stop and ask that question. And then I love to do what we call stickers, STICKA. If you did the time to get some rest, then I give you a sticker, just like when we were in elementary school, because everybody gets excited about a sticker.
That's true. That is true.
You know what I
That's
mean?
true. That's
And
true.
it positively reinforces in us that we deserve that rest, and hopefully let that snowball into something even more.
Mm. And I like your Friday check-ins. Now, my check-in with my friends is Thursday evenings, but you're
Okay.
right. I mean, because you have somebody you're accountable to. If
Mm-hmm.
you keep telling them, oh, I'm doing this, that, and the other, then somebody, well, what about you? Aren't you tired? Oh, you need to
Mm-hmm.
rest. No, you need to
Mm-hmm.
just stay home this weekend and just stay on the sofa. Or
Mm-hmm.
on the other end, if we feel like, hey, you need a push, you
Yeah.
to just get yourself, go down to City Hall, figure out what the licenses is for this, and just make a list.
Mhm.
But I like that. I like it. I think more women should do that. Check, have a group of people, just check in. Because that keeps
Mhm.
us healthy
It does.
mentally, physically, and also, and doing what you do, the work that you do, it keeps our dreams moving forward instead of every
Mhm.
year, every January, we blowing off the same dream. And we're blowing off that same old dream. Oh, I just saw a visual of somebody just going, and all the dust just going all over the place. Oh, my goodness. So that's why the
Yeah.
people like you. So you talked a little bit about how you organize, how you strategize. Like how does
Mhm.
that work with your life and your business and your clients and your social life and this, that, and the other? And of course I see you in the back. You're a plant mom like I am. I got plants all over the place.
Come on.
So how does that how do you do it for you to make sure
Yes.
you are on the list?
Yes, I have to systemize it because if I don't systemize it, it'll be too. See, we're really good at systemizing work, but we don't systemize life. And that's exactly what creates that imbalance. Everybody hates that word work life balance. It's not possible. It's not possible because you put way more energy into systemizing work than we do into systemizing our life. And so I put just as much time in systemizing my life and my fun and my rest as I do my work, or else I'll just keep chugging along and forget that I'm even supposed to do the rest. Or when I finally have time to rest, girl, I won't even know what to do. All I'll do is go sit on the couch when I know that there are other things that actually fill my cup more. So if I can set up life systems that are things like regular hobbies that I know bring fun to me, making time to do books. Listen, one of my favorite routines are a part of my system is slow mornings. You can't get me before 9 a.m. I don't want to talk to you. I don't care. Listen, unless this house that I'm in right here is on fire, you can't talk to me before that time because that's something that I have to keep sacred for me. And then there's other things like every Thursday evening, I will go dancing. I like to do a partner dance called Chicago Style Stepping. Or every Friday, I get together with the girls and we kiki for 2 hours, or at least once a week I go eat something that I didn't have to cook because that's restful for me. So when we do those things on a regular basis, we can systemize some of the things that help fill our cup because we're always systematically doing things for everybody else. Let's find how we could do some regular things for us.
I like what you said, and you're right. And people sometimes they think, oh, well, when you schedule stuff, it's so rigid. No, it's not. You're putting in
Mm.
what matters to you.
Mhm.
For
Mhm.
me, it's like regular, excuse me, visits to the museum with a friend. We try to do
Mhm.
once a month, if not every 6 weeks, because everybody's got
Mhm.
stuff going on. And then also, I tell people sometimes that helps enhance relationships that you value.
Mhm.
Because,
Mhm.
I mean, even I'm so surprised because my godson was like, look, my sister and my mother always playing and stuff. We're like, well, wait a minute now. You got to let us know what your days off. And we found out his days off are during the week. So now
Mhm.
we have a plan to all hang out together. And of course, that makes
Mhm.
me feel good because, he's almost 30. So that makes me feel really
Mhm.
good. He still wants to hang
Mhm.
out with Aunt Jen. But you are so right. So,
Mhm.
how can someone listening, watching, connect with you, get your coaching, find out all about you?
Yes. So I have a YouTube channel as well, and it's at Your Dream Strategist. And then also, if you want to find me on any of the platforms, that's the best way to find me at Your Dream Strategist. My website is also at Your Dream Strategist. But if you really just want to chat and you're like, this is some things that I was looking through or that I've been thinking about, send me a DM on Instagram and then I'll send you my link for us to go ahead and schedule a free coffee date. Like, I love a virtual coffee date where we can just chat it up and see how I can best support you.
And of course, those watching and listening know I will have all Rashida's links in the show page so you can connect with her directly. So, Rashida, thank
Mhm.
you so much. This was an enjoyable conversation.
Yes. Yes, thank you for having me. This was wonderful.